Hello, OWL members, and welcome back to Inside the OWL Studio. Today, I'm pleased to welcome EyePoint Pharmaceuticals and today's interviewee, Dr. Jay Duker, President and Chief Executive Officer at EyePoint. EyePoint is a pharmaceutical company committed to developing and commercializing innovative therapeutics to help improve the lives of patients with serious eye disorders. They have been a great supporter of OWL's mission and vision, particularly with event sponsorships, and most recently as a uniting sponsor. Thank you for all you do for eye care, and welcome to Inside the OWL Studio, Jay.
Thank you, Abigail.
Today, we would like for you to discuss specific activities or initiatives that you are utilizing at EyePoint to develop your rising leaders and ensure they can bring their true selves to work. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to you, Jay.
Sure, and thank you for the question. EyePoint is a biopharmaceutical company that's developing sustained-release medications for the back of the eye. And we're still a relatively small company. Our headcount is about 150 right now. In saying that, we actually have 3 programs that we have developed and are ongoing to help with our young managers in their career development. The first is called the MAP, or the Manager Acceleration Program. And the purpose is to build strong people management skills across the entire organization and ensure that these rising leaders remain engaged in the mission and they can do their best work. This program is open to all people managers, but in particular the rising leaders, and it's a 5-month cohort-based learning with peer-to-peer networking and support. The second program we have is called Performance Partnerships. And this is specifically tailored to our early talented rising leaders. This gives them the opportunity to have career conversations to guide their own career development and growth and advancement. It's more of a traditional performance management with heavy emphasis on career conversations to help the talent grow and rise in the organization and even plan out their later careers. Given that we are a relatively small company, we don't always have opportunities for all personnel to internally grow, but we want to give them the skill set to do that. And the final program is called the Insights Discovery Program. And the purpose, again, is for the employees to gain insight into their personality preferences and communication style. And it's become very clear to me in my current role as CEO that we all have different ways of communicating and listening. And realizing that early in the career really enables future leaders to do their best work and get their most out of their employees. And one thing to note is that when we do our internal ratings of how we're doing, we consistently receive very high ratings from our employees on the relationships with their direct management. And I think it's a testament to these 3 programs that we've instituted.
You know, Dr. Duker, I love hearing that. And I think, you know, for the size of the company, and when you talk about those ratings and those relationships with, you know, the employees and their managers, it's so important to keep that communication and those opportunities kind of there for them. When you talked about the early mid-career opportunities for your employees, I think it's so nice because we also have a program, our Leadership Summit, which is dedicated to that kind of early to mid-career employee.
The most important asset that any organization has is the people. And it's really, you know, everyone says it, but the truth is losing good, talented people is really a problem for an organization, whether they're physicians, physician assistants, or in the case, you know, any type of job that they might have in a pharmaceutical company. And so that these type of programs really go far in not only getting your employees to feel satisfied that they're in the right place, but growing them within the organization. Replacing good employees is very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I think it affects, you know, bottom line for sure, but most importantly, it can really affect morale with coworkers. You know, it's really a trickle-down effect, I think, in every organization, and that retention is so important, particularly when you have an outstanding performing individual, you know. So I really appreciate these insights, Dr. Duker, and I'm going to take you straight into some of these, you know, little less serious questions, I guess. What is your favorite word in ophthalmology?
Well, that one's easy. I am an ophthalmologist, although I don't practice much anymore. But one of the first things you learn in ophthalmology is how to refract. And so your favorite word is better. Which is better, one or two? And throughout everything we do in eye care is really to make patients better, not just see better visually, but live their lives better. Or, in fact, if they have a disease that we can't treat, to better accept that and live the best life that they can. And that really is, frankly, it's true in my current role too, running a biotech company. Every day we try to get the company better attuned to what our goals are and try to reach those goals, because ultimately what we're trying to do just on a bigger scale is the same thing ophthalmologists and eye care professionals do every day, which is make people see better.
Oh, I love that answer. Internally you should get some t-shirts made for the employees that say be better. That'd be really fun. What is your least favorite word in ophthalmology?
Well, that's easy now. If my favorite word is better, my least favorite word has to be worse. So, but none of us like that. None of us like, I was a surgeon in a former life to operate and not be successful. And that nobody likes to be part of an organization that seems to be heading in the wrong direction. And while we all have challenges day to day and week to week, in the end, we'd like the better days to outnumber the worst days, and to see that over time,
Absolutely.
we're all really working towards achieving a goal together.
That's awesome. If there's a role that you would love to try within the eye health industry, what would it be that you've not done before?
Well, so I was an academic ophthalmologist, a researcher, a teacher, and a surgeon for 31 years. And then I did a career change, and now I'm running a biotech company. So if you'd asked me that question 5 years ago, I would say be the CEO of a biotech company. But here I am. I don't know what's left. I don't know, maybe be the CEO of a large pharma. I don't know if I have the energy and the time for that, though. But well, I'll stick with
that's good. Okay, that's good. What role would you not want to pursue, and why?
Oh, the worst role I think in medical care right now is to be the head administrator of a hospital. It is just such a difficult job right now because your costs are going up, your revenues are not matched, and the demands, the people demands, and the demands in the system are just really, really difficult. I think being the head of a hospital is the hardest job in medicine right now.
That's really interesting, and I would assume very true. What one thing do you think you could contribute to really leadership in ophthalmology?
A lot of that from leadership in ophthalmology, I think, is maybe by example. And what I learned in my former role and try to continue it now is leadership in some ways is very simple. You hire the best people and then you keep them happy. And most of the time, keeping them happy is just understanding really what their goals are. And it's not usually money. It's usually growth and control of what they do. And once you recognize that, and instead of trying to shoehorn people into a job that they don't really want to do or don't have the skill set, you look at the people you have and you look at their skill sets and say, how do I make them successful and keep them happy? Can I put them into another role? Can I give them other responsibility to take some away? So I would say the contribution to authentic leadership is just that. Hire good people, understand what they want to do, and keep them happy. And then as a leader, your job becomes easy.
Right. It does. It really does. I love that answer. All right. So my tricky question for you today is, if you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why?
Oh boy, I don't think I've ever been asked that question, but I'm going to give a tricky answer.
Good.
I would be a sloth, because a sloth just hangs around and does nothing all day. And that is just so against my personality that I would like to see what it's like to not be type A and constantly be managing things. So I'd like a life as a sloth, just to see what that would be like.
Oh, what a great answer. I think I'd want to be a sloth too, just hanging out. Well, Dr. Duker, that does it for Inside the Owl Studio today. I just so appreciate your participation today and also the support that you and EyePoint give to Owl every day. It really means a lot, and we couldn't do it without you.
Our pleasure. And this was fun. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks, Dr. Duker. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.